Ever since I was a little girl, I knew how to read clocks. Yeah, I could read 5:30 and 9:15, but I could also read what a clock was. I knew all of its mechanisms and how they operated. I understood that it was all a mathematical equation, tuned perfectly to work together as a whole. I recognized that a clock's only goal was to produce one constant piece of information: time. For as long as you can trace back my father's family, they have always been clockmakers. It was a tradition, and they were trained from childhood to produce precise results with their clockmaking. They were taught to feel the time, and to know what it was with much more than just their eyes. This is essential when designing a clock movement. When it comes to building a clock movement, even the tiniest miscalculation can result in a gain or loss of time. The diameter of a gear not only has to match an exact measurement, but its teeth also have to lock properly into the teeth of another gear, and they must work together to maintain the perfect balance. The weights, or the springs, must be calculated precisely in order to move all of the gears at a proper rate. Even the pendulum must be exact. If it is too long, too short, too heavy, or too light, it will increase or decrease the speed of ticking, which will alter the time. After many years of practice, I can just look at two gears and the materials that they're made out of and tell you whether or not they're compatible. I can look at a movement and pick up a weight to feel whether or not it would be appropriate. I can listen to a tick and know instantly if the clock is either gaining or losing time. It's a trait that you must dedicate years of your life to understand. My father can even tell you what's wrong with a clock just by listening to it over the telephone. Together we have built a countless amount of clocks, and each one has been delicately calculated and adjusted to provide perfect results. You must understand that being a clockmaker means being a perfectionist. There's quite literally no time to cut corners or accept anything less than flawless. The smallest imperfection in a gear can cause the entire mechanism to jam. Therefore, it is crucial that you are absolutely thorough. Clocks are something different to me than they are to other people. They are a culture and a lifestyle. To me, reading a clock is much more than being able to tell what time it is. To me, it is looking into a clock and seeing what it's made out of and the type of movement it possesses. It's like its own little world in there, where everything has its own job it has to perform. You have to be able to read time by more than just looking at the hands on the face. You have to listen to the tick and feel the heaviness of the vibrations. You have to look at the pendulum and see a perfect swing. The weights must show you a correct amount of movement, and the gears must fit together like pieces of a puzzle. Ever since I was a little girl, I knew how to read clocks.